flip book where I had taken cut out of the papers and then just, so it's cat, then bat, bat, and so forth. Mat.
What about others? Has anyone prepared?
I'll be doing
Okay, so
introducities
the
and shows by
resource which
tomorrow.
okay, the resource which Hussaina has shown, what do you think? The same flipbook can be used for which all other concepts? So I really want you to understand that the same resource can be used for different subjects. So this flipbook, how can you use it for any other subject? So it's better to keep it blank and get laminated so that you can have multiple use for the same.
Rhyming word. Okay, these are rhyming words only. But for tricky words, like the words which have the family like some and come. So you can write MOE and then you can change the first letter and then they can be there for tricky words learning.
You can
The
have
ones which are coming
suffixes
to
or
the
prefixes also.
yeah.
LY words, any
Yes.
less. The same you can
Even
for
stroller and stroller.
Hindi also. In Hindi also you can use it. How you can use it for math? How can you use it for math? For tables?
Even for different, like if you want to show the different combinations of 10, so which two numbers we can put together to come 10. So we can draw different pictures and you can ask them to count and see whether they are making 10 number or not.
Yes. So math can be done. EVS, science, what you can do for science? The same flipbook. Which concept you can introduce? Can you show that flipbook again?
Yeah.
Okay. How you can use it for science or social or any other subject? Like you can have the tree and then parts of trees. So on one you write stem, on one you write root. Okay. So you can have subdivision of any topic. You can write any one topic at the right hand side and the subdivisions can come. So if you make a blank one and you get it laminated, you can reuse it again. So you can get laminated and then stapled. So these resources as a teachers will help you because every time making is not possible. But if you have these laminated ones, so like if you invest your few days in assembling everything blank and laminated, this is going to help you. Then you can have your own kit where you have empty flashcards, empty blend wheels, some cloth grippers, some sponges, some paints. So wherever you go, you can take out anything and you can start doing anything. Some clay, some buttons, some socks for puppets, some googly eyes, some ice cream sticks, glue. So you can have your toolkit ready with you. Whenever you want to do anything, you can easily teach any topic, and that's how it should be. Because if you keep investing your so much of time and efforts for making these, then you won't be like after some time you will get drained and you won't feel the energy. You need so much of energy to use them in the classroom. So save your energy for classroom and take few days, like 5 days. Please, all of you have this commitment. You can have plain dais. Okay. So you get a dais which is laminated plain. So you can use it for different things. Yes, Susanna?
Ma'am, even what I use instead of lamination, I use this sheets. If you can see, I don't know everyone
Yeah.
can see or not. So the sheet, I just put the paper inside, and then they can write draw on it. The
Yes,
sleeves
that's a
which they
great
cut in.
idea. That's a great
And the
idea.
same thing for dice maths, like this. There are blocks. They roll the dice, whatever number they get, and then they have to add it. And even for that case, like you recently, I got this bingo sheets for addition. You can do it for anything, but I got this bingo sheet. So what they have, everyone has their own strips of addition strips in their hand, and then they have these cards. They have to add it and then say the number out, and if whatever numbers they're coming in, whatever how we play bingo the same way, and they
Hmm.
have to circle it.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, like these are printed. Instead of
Huh.
printed, if it is plain and laminated, then you can use it again and again.
Multiple times.
Yes,
Yeah.
because that way, if you have to get it printed and all that, then sometimes what happens, you keep thinking you will do, and that day never comes.
Huh.
But if you have it, because I've experienced this, we when we have to prepare something, it sometimes just is left out. It doesn't even start. But when you have this bag with you where you have plain laminated sheets, flashcards, and these kind of board games, then you just need marker. Whenever you have to use, you just write and erase, and you can use it for all the subjects. You can have strings, you can have beads, these are something like you can use it for multiple purposes. You can have headbands, okay, and velcro. So tricky word, you can use it for tricky word, or maybe anything, whichever topic you are doing, you can do that. So actually DIY means this only, that these all very easily made tools, and which can be reused again and again as a toolkit. If you keep it with you, you will never be short of any activities anytime you do. Yeah. What all things are must? Now tell me, what are things are must in your DIY kit? If you prepare your DIY kit, what all things will you put inside? Like markers, yes?
Color
Blank
papers.
laminated papers to write,
Yeah.
cards.
So you can have blend wheels also laminated. No? Then keep it blank so that you can use it for Hindi, math, whatever you want. And what else? As I told you, dice. Okay. What else? Ice cream sticks.
Socks, clay.
So on ice cream stick, no, you just roll some this thread and put two googly eyes. That can be just your puppet anytime, a reading buddy. So the children can enjoy that. Then plastic spoons, wooden spoons, then disposable glasses, paper plates. Okay.
Ma'am, for tricky words, I use this ice cream sticks like this, like down. It becomes easy for them to revise. When I take offline class, they themselves flip the
I
ice
also
cream stick.
use many a times. So see now, if you have it, like you have these, then you cannot reuse it. Because once you have written, then that stick is gone. You cannot use it for any other thing. So what I do is I ask the students, if I have to do the tricky words, then I'll ask the students that tomorrow you have to bring ice cream sticks. And then they only write. So in my DIY kit, I will have sticks for making puppets, which can be used for anything. Once I start writing something on it, I cannot use it for any other thing. And with senior kids, always there. Yesterday also I told that you should tell them to make things. Even grade 1, 2 children, they will enjoy creating it and they will remember the topic. It is only the small 3, 4-year, 5-year-old children where you have to prepare. But for elder kids, if you keep simple things, they themselves, like I have shared so many of pictures today. So whatever things laminated, I have used this for synonyms and antonyms. Okay, so laminated sheets, if you give them, they can write synonyms and antonyms. Okay, so even you can have the strips, sticky notes. Yeah, but then you from your tool, if you use it and you write it, then it's gone. Yeah. So with elder kids, you can always ask them to create. When they create, they enjoy doing that activity. For senior kids, if I bring it in the class and I show, they will not take interest. Senior kids will not, whether it is very colorful or whatever, they'll not take interest. But when you ask them to prepare, then they start enjoying. So it is better. It's good for us also that we don't have to let them only, but things should be very neat. And so keep it as simple as possible. No much of craft and this and that. Okay. See, if you put in more of beauty, you will be able to do only few things. You can be very happy. Oh, wow. See, but then you have to do a lot. So it's better to do everything in a simple way rather than doing a few things in a beautiful way. So always focus on simple things, less time consuming, and always giving the chance to students to prepare it. You can hold a sample in your hand and let them prepare and give them a task in groups. Then they will enjoy more. Rather than doing it individually, if you divide them into groups and you just show that this is what you have to make, they'll start enjoying the task because they are in with their friends doing an activity. There will be some noise in the class, but that's okay because they are having fun. Yeah. Okay. So let's start with today's topic. And what is today's topic? Yes.
Inclusive education workshop. Every child matters. Building classroom for all.
What is inclusive education? What do you mean by inclusive education? Any idea?
To include everyone.
Yes, and everyone means everyone. Yeah. So, okay, before we start, I want you all to share um, what makes you unique. Any one such quality which makes you unique. What is that? Yes, take 1 minute and then let's hear everyone. Yes. What do you think? What makes you unique?
I'll start.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yes, please.
When I am in a class, the class is of 30 students, but I feel when I am in the class, it's like, there are some children who are slow learners, some are very smart, and some are average. So, as per me, like, I feel I can at least identify some of them. Means when I'm teaching, when I'm into the classroom and all, at least I have that this thing like not 100%, but at least some this thing is there that I am capable of identifying the children who are slow learners who need more attention. There are some special cases also. Nowadays, all the children are in one group, one class. So identifying them is, I feel so that is more important. The children who need more attention and more personal touch.
Okay, great. Yes. Others, what makes you unique as a person, as a teacher? Yes, Mary?
I can
Yes,
take
Susanna?
last minute games. I can make up last minute games and come up with something, even if like I'm not prepared at all, like zero preparation. But when I am with kids, if you ask me outside the room, what are you going to do? I would literally say nothing. I don't know. But when I'll go in, the moment I enter and I see the kids, and something will just come up in my mind, and I will just do something or the other. And I think you've experienced this. I
Yes.
don't know, with me.
Yeah.
She used to ask me in the workshop, what are you going to do today with the kid? And I'm like, I don't know,
I can
something
very
I
well
will do.
relate because this is the same case with me as well. And I think every teacher, like if you
And
really
I'm
love
from,
teaching, if you really love teaching, then students give you creativity. The moment you are with them, your mind will have hundreds of ideas.
yeah, it just goes in that direction and ultimately just comes up with ideas.
Yeah. Yes, Mary, you're on mute. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Miss Husana said, maybe sometimes we can think of some ideas that can come on the moment, like spontaneous, yeah, something like that.
Okay. Poonam?
Well, I'm compassionate about teaching, ma'am. I take care of each and every child. Like if it's a class of 25 or 30 students, I give special attention to everyone and I make them involved in everything, whatever I teach them, and make sure that reinforcement concept is used every time.
Wonderful. Alpa?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I try to understand the child first and like create a bond between us, and then I start make them learn anything. I try to, make them understand the concept in whichever, however language they prefer, in a kiddish way or in a jokey way, in a funny way, or sometimes being strict. So, however they are understanding, I try to make them learn like that.
So somehow we all are doing this inclusive education. We're trying to understand our children and we are trying to do
Yeah,
whatever is possible so that they just understand what we are teaching.
understand the concept.
Yeah, maybe we are not very sure of their problems, but we somehow figure out what is the solution.
Mm.
And that's how every teacher is a special educator. But knowing better is always good. So, what do you think? What are the problem areas? What are the problem areas for children with special needs? There can be many problems like
Yeah,
reading.
like
Doctor,
autistic.
even
Tension. They get bored
Yeah.
very easily with whatever activity or with whatever you're doing, even if it's very exciting. Maybe it is exciting to some other kids, but to them it will be within a minute they'll be like, no, I'm bored.
some
Like
are
right now, when
hyperactive.
I'm taking a class, offline class with kids, there's a child who only and only wants to color. He doesn't get
No.
excited with anything else. All he wants to do is every time doing coloring. So I have now, without treating him as a special kid, but treating him as a regular kid and knowing his need and giving, fulfilling his need. That's what my role is. That he should enjoy. Now I have to think in a creative way that what should I give him for coloring where he can absorb the content. Yeah. I cannot force him for something which he will not enjoy or for something which he's not interested to do. Okay. So problem areas can be reading, writing, listening, speaking, reasoning, memorizing, or math. Now, what is going to happen? What will be the consequence result of having these problems? Of course, poor grades, low self-esteem, and lack of interest. When you don't know something, you don't take interest. Yes. So, what is the solution? The solution is giving them right support and intervention. That's what we need to do. Okay. We have to develop the strategy to understand their weakness and encourage their strength. We have to work on their strength. Knowing their weakness, we have to work on their strength, and then we implement the learning strategies. Yeah. What is autism? Have
There
you
are
heard about autism?
different kinds of autism, no? You have,
Yeah, but basic, what is autism?
it's the child is like, sometimes it is like they have mild, so it is a very difficulty in speaking, learning. Same thing it is. They have many difficulties, those children.
Okay, anybody else knows anything about autism? Have you taught any autist child?
Usually in normal schools also nowadays we find such children, but it is very difficult to think that how and what help actually we should give them.
Hmm. Of course, there's a spectrum, from low to high range. Okay, but what are the basic things? What are the basic symptoms, or how do you identify?
Difficulty in
Their
learning,
speech is low.
reading.
Speech
Social
is low.
communication is very difficult for them. They can understand the concept, but then I think, if
Express.
I'm not wrong, they forget it very easily, or the absorbent skill is very low. I'm not very sure, so I'll not speak.
Their
No,
attention
it's
span
like
is less.
sometimes these children, when we speak also normally, they
Hmm.
don't look at your face and they talk to you.
Hmm.
They are like, you can see them, they are not, means like they don't make a eye contact with you mostly.
Hmm.
Either they will be in somewhere looking somewhere else and something like that. Speech is also very low, means few words. Some are like they are not able to speak also, just one or two words, because we have mostly in normal schools also such children.
Hmm.
And some have difficulty in writing. Writing means you, how many times also you tell them that this is A, they will not understand that this is A.
Hmm.
But if you show them a picture, they will obviously recognize it. But maybe writing or something becomes difficult for them.
Okay, I'm going to share two pictures in the group. Basically, autist child will have social anxiety. He's not comfortable in communication. That's the basic, characteristic I can say for autism. Okay. So it is actually a neurodevelopmental condition, and it will affect mostly their communication skills. They don't want to communicate. They will not have eye contact. They don't want to interact. And so they will have behavioral issues and, of course, learning issues. Now, why we call it a spectrum? Because you will find that the symptoms and the abilities will vary greatly from one autist child to another autist child. Okay. So these children, most of the times, they prefer to play alone. Okay. And as I told you, the basic problem would be difficulty in conversation or expressing their feelings. They don't know. They don't know how to express when they're happy. They don't know how to express when they are sad. They will be very sensitive to light. They will be very sensitive to sound. They will be very sensitive to touch. Okay. And they prefer a strict routine and repetition. Okay. They love doing anything where there's a repetition. Okay. So you will find that these children love playing with toys. Okay. Like Legos and all, where they can create a pattern. They love to create a pattern. After this comes. After this comes. So they prefer routine and they prefer repetition. Okay. Now, when we talk about the communication, how would you identify? There will be a delayed speech, okay, and the child will not maintain eye contact. But at the same time, if you look at, now you have to understand the strength. As I told you, that identify the weakness and work on their strength. So if you work on their strength, they will have strong visual thinking. Okay. If they see something, they remember it very easily. They have excellent visual memory. Okay. Now, social skills, they they find it very difficult to make friends or understand emotions. They don't know emotions. They don't understand feelings. But at the same time, if we talk about their strength, they are always very honest, very loyal. Okay. If we talk about their learning style, as I told you, they will prefer always visual learning and they need structured routine. They need detailed orientation. Okay. And once they learn the pattern, then they never forget it. Okay. If we talk about their behavior, you will find these children repeat actions like hand flipping, clapping, and they need strict routines. And they have very focused interest in specific subjects. Okay, they will not enjoy everything, but they have very specific interests. Okay, so you have to identify where is what the child is loving to do, and accordingly, you have to prepare your lesson plan. So just now I told you that he only loves doing the coloring. So I have to focus on, because even when he's coloring, so of course, visual memory is there. Yeah. So you have to, what you have to do, how you will teach these children. You have to use more and more visual aids, charts, flow charts, flashcards, pictures, videos. Okay. And when we are talking about this inclusive education, so we are using this in a normal class. Yeah, because we want to treat everyone same. Just imagine that in your class, if you have a child on a wheelchair, or a child who is having ear machine, a child who is somehow disabled. So of course you want all of them to be to learn what
Equal.
you are teaching. You will take care now that if he is physically impaired, you will try to give as much comfort as you can give, right? Yes. If the child
Yes.
has a vision problem, you will make him sit in front. Yes.
Yes.
If a child cannot hear properly, you'll make him sit in front. Yes. If a child is handicapped or something, you will take care that he doesn't get hurt. Yes. So what? So these children who are children with special need, being it autism or ADHD or dyslexia, so we have to take care of them as well, and they will be a part of our class. So this is inclusive education. So when you are using charts or flashcards or pictures or videos, it is equally beneficial for the remaining class also. The thing which is happening is you are taking care of that child also. Yeah. You have to give very clear instructions. Now, these children, they will follow blindly what you say, but they need a clear instruction. Okay. For example, you have to use very short sentences, very simple sentences. Open your book to page 3. You have to clearly mention page number. So they will do what you say. and they will follow the routine. Okay, like first if you're doing a story, after that if you're doing drawing, if you're doing after that if you're doing math, they want you to do the same every day. Okay, then breaks are very very important. So they need, but what kind of break they need? They need sensory breaks. What is a sensory break? What do you understand by the word sensory?
Something which has
Use of
involved
sense
any
organs.
senses, maybe touch,
Feeling, touch,
And the
maybe.
simplest, if you don't find anything else, just simplest is like let them walk around a lot. Let them, ask them to take circles. Okay. And you have to use positive reinforcement every time. You have to keep motivating them by saying, great job. Okay. Whatever they are doing, even if they're sharing crayons, you have to keep praising for every small achievement. Great job. Okay. And you have to give one task at a time. You cannot overload them with too many like instructions. For a normal child, you can say, come here, sit here, open your book, and this and that, and this and that. But for that child, you cannot do that. You'll have to give one by one. Come when he comes, sit when he sits, open the book. So you have to be, one instruction at one time.
One time.
If you give 4 sentences, he won't be able to take it. Okay. These children, as I told you, they love toys. They love trains. They love cars. They will prefer having those small cars and small trains, and you'll find that they always line them up. Okay, so now when you know that they are interested in this, so you can use those objects as your teaching tools for concepts like addition, subtraction, whatever. Okay, like if I talk about English, so you can use picture story card. One sample I had shared in the group. So picture story cards can be there. For math, you can use the Legos, building blocks to teach addition and subtraction. For science, you can have sensory exploration. What is soft? What is hard? What is rough? So they can sort the objects like soft objects, hard objects. Okay, and they will be very much interested for arts where you can have finger painting, that would be again a sensory play and expression. Okay, if you are teaching social science, for example, if you're teaching my city, you can give them visual poster. Okay,
It's not on the group.
yeah, there's some problem, I'll share it later. Okay. Then so what is a must tool for an artist or for a classroom where you have such children? Pictures, a lot of pictures, visuals. Then because they don't understand emotions, so you will have to keep emotion cards, happy cards, and you will have to teach. Okay, that this is happy. For example, when you give something, then you have to show this happy card. You have to be happy when somebody is giving you something, you have to show them an emotion card of sadness, sad face. Okay, if you're hurt, you are sad, or if you have lost something or whatever, like if you're missing someone, so you have to show that uh, emotion card of sadness, angry faces. You will have to teach them. Okay, like for example, if two kids are fighting, now this child will not understand what is going on. You have to show them that, see, right now this they are angry. Okay, so you have to show them the angry card. Okay, then for math, of course, they can have building blocks. Okay, then sensory bottles. Yesterday we talked about water bottles filled with glitters. Okay, so when the glitters settle down, they feel calm, the anxiety is reduced. Yes. So what
Usually,
do
such children are very hyper also. So, like,
you
how to control them? It's Sometimes
When
it
you
becomes
give
very
them things
difficult.
of their choice, they are never hyper.
Okay.
If you give them cars, Legos, such things, they are not hyper. They'll just keep playing with them. They will not get bored. They'll keep playing with them. You give them this finger dipping, they will not go anywhere else. Otherwise they'll run around, and they'll not even sit. But
Yeah,
if
they
you
don't
give
settle.
such sensory things, they'll settle down. They'll not move from there.
Ma'am, I have a kid,
Hmm.
whatever, like 90% of the time, whatever activity I do, okay, within a minute, I will hear, I'm bored. I don't want to do this. So what I'd have done is now I keep switching. Like, okay, when the moment he says I'm bored, I switch it to something else. But then when I come back again to the same topic, no, I'm bored. Then there are times where he's just like, whatever I do, even if I keep switching and do his favorite stuff, he's like, no, I'm bored. I just don't want to do anything. And he
Yes. So you
just
every 10
does it.
minutes they need something different.
Not even 10 minutes. I would be happy if it's 10 minutes.
Hmm. Okay.
And before, he used to like coloring and everything. But now, what
Hmm.
his mother has done is his mother has put him in a different coloring and drawing classes. So that part is also gone. Now he's done there. So he comes to me, he's like, no, I don't want to color with you. I have already done it there.
Hmm.
So I'm just so clueless that what do I do to make it very interesting? Because apart
So
from
you
the
will have
workshops
to
we're
ask the
doing,
mother to have a kit always. You don't need to do that. Ask the mother to give a kit where you have all these DIY tools. Okay. So where he can do this, so many things he can do. Yeah.
then वो पढ़ता नहीं है.
You will have to integrate the topic in that, whatever he's doing. For example, if you're
The
finger dipping, so
Yeah,
you can make a snake and let him dip in the S shape. Okay. So you'll
I
have
have
to
done
integrate
that.
the.
But
Ah.
then that doesn't really is making any difference because the minute, like, let's say we are learning letters, okay? So I
Hmm.
told him, let's paint the letters or let's do this stuff. Or let's just write the letter S with the paint. So he will write first letter and then the second letter he'll just go like, no, he'll just scribble it all around. Nahi karna hai.
Hmm.
The minute he realizes that she's making me do some educational inside this game, halas.
So you don't have to tell that, you know, who will do this finger painting. Don't tell that it is S or something. You just have to,
Mm.
when he's doing it, just keep singing, the snake is in the grass, the snake is in the grass. Don't ask him to say anything. Okay, so he will just do that, and then you can bring pop a snake. So takeaways are always helpful. That if you give something like even this ice cream stick puppet where there's a snake, and you have to be a kid. You have to hide somewhere, and then can you find me? Can you find? They will always love this treasure hunt or hide and seek game. They'll never get bored of. Then catch. Boys are generally fond of catching balls. Okay, so you can have ball and throw and catch. So on the ball, you can stick something which can give them visual reinforcement of the topic. You know, you have to be on your toes definitely.
I
Okay.
am already.
And for these children, like even when I'm taking the offline class, so in the school, uh, they have slides and they have that jumping wala section. So I asked that child to go and do 15 minutes of jumping, So finally he's settled. He has released all his energy. He's literally so tired that he won't get up now. He will sit on the chair. He's completely exhausted. Then you can give something to, and you have to keep like jolly songs are great. So music helps. Have you given him these shakers, putting rice in the bottle? They will love doing that. उनको bottle में rice और ये सब डाल दो, बोलो rice अलग करो. They will do that.
That I have learned. I'm learning from the workshop.
हाँ,
Trying to implement the brain gym exercise we did. I try to implement that. Helped. So
हाँ.
I'm learning.
Even I'm learning. Day before yesterday, we were in restaurant. So my husband and my daughter was there, and I gave them a task, left and right. Till your order comes, try doing this.
Bichare.
They did. They could not. They didn't know, they could not. But then, you actually life should be like that. It should be like every time playing some game, having some fun. If you bring that into you, then you'll be like a child. You have to think from the mind of a child. We are like, हमको syllabus complete करना है, हमको ये topic सिखाना ही सिखाना है. That pressure, and when we have that pressure, अरे इसने आज कुछ नहीं किया, आज इसने कुछ नहीं सीखा, इसकी मम्मा क्या बोलेगी? We take so much of pressure. But जरूरी नहीं है कि जो टॉपिक है वो
Every
उसने
day.
सीखा है. He or she can learn many other things. At the end of the session, you will get the results. Okay, हमारा क्या होता है, आज ये साउंड कराना है या आज ये पेज कराना है. So we are so much into that कि whatever might happen, he has to do it. He has to do it. But imagine from his mind, he's coming to the class. Is he thinking that today I have to learn this? Today I have to complete this? What do you think? What is in their mind when they come to the class? I'm talking about 3 or 4-year-old children. What is in their mind when they come to the class?
Have
They are
fun.
just
Have
pushed.
fun.
Nothing.
They are just pushed by the
Trouble the
parents.
teacher.
Parents.
They don't know what they have.
They don't know.
They don't know.
They think that what they're doing at home, they're supposed to do the same here also.
There was a kid I've come across. I'm like, why? What do you think when you come? He's like, I think I will have something to eat because I used to give snacks break that time. So he's like, okay, then I will get to eat. Like, acha, nice.
I have a small kid जो बोलता है आप इतनी मेहनत कराओगे तो मैं आऊंगा नहीं. आप मुझे इतना काम कराओगे तो मैं नहीं आऊंगा. और after every 5 minutes he'll say मैं बहुत थक गया हूँ. And for him, like, he's very young, he's just 3, but surprisingly, that's what I'm saying, surprisingly he has learned all the sounds. He's just 3. And he doesn't have a book. He doesn't have a book also. But how he has learned just through these teaching aids. What he loves to do is writing on the whiteboard with a marker. So I give the marker and I just tell him that if I have written sat, so I will ask him to write sat. So he loves writing. So he'll say sat. But just if he'll write sat, अब और कराओगे तो मैं कल से नहीं आऊंगा. So then I ask him to go and play on the slides. So he enjoys doing slides. And then he'll jump on that jumping zone and then he'll come back, he'll drink water, he will eat. And then, okay, one time can you write, sir? ठीक है, एक बार लिखूंगा, ज़्यादा नहीं लिखूंगा. Okay. So what I want is the result. And his mama is happy because he can read the word sat being at the age of 3. So it's not that if he's coming for 2 hours, I'm responsible that he should use every minute of 2 hours to study only. Ultimately, we want results. So we need to understand that they are coming to play. They are coming to play. And it is we who have to, take out some little time for them to get engaged in the studies. He always know that I'll give him a ice cream puppet. So he's always excited. And he knows that if he will not listen to me, he will not get it and other students will get it. Yeah. And every time he's writing on the board, I say, I'm recording and I'm sending it to your mama. She'll be very happy to see this. So that gives him, okay. Then he'll come to me and show me, Mama ne kuch likha kya? But yeah, things are not that easy. You have to be very patient and it all comes with experience also. So I really don't have much time, but still, I am taking offline class of kids this weekend class just because unless you don't experience it, you cannot teach it. You need to teach students to train teachers. Then only you will come to know the real problems and the real solutions also. Yeah. Yeah. So where were we? So yes, they need visual clues. Okay, so when they are entering, you can always welcome them by a hello song. So now these children will always, you will always have to start with that same hello song. Okay. Then if you are having a story time, so always you will have to start with a visual story with big pictures. Okay. And then as I told you that they need sensory break, jumping, stretching, running. Okay. Then if you're using math, then building blocks. Then if you're having snack time, then finger painting, and then goodbye song. Okay. So you need to understand that every autist child is different. You will have to observe every autist child because there's a spectrum, You cannot do the same thing with two autist child because they may stand at different
Maybe.
points on the spectrum. You will have to create a calm and supportive environment, and you have to celebrate every small success. And as I told you, use the strength. You will have to figure it out what is the strength. If they are very good at learning through visuals, so you have to keep using that. If they are interested in making patterns, so you have to keep using that sorting activities. And if you have seen those puzzles, triangle को triangle में put करना है, square को square में, those kind of games. Okay. So this was about autist or autism. Now, what is ADHD? Okay, if we discuss about learning disabilities, as I told you, visual processing. Have you seen children getting confused between B and D?
A lot.
Yeah. So that is a disability of processing, visual processing. They're not able to process the visual image. Okay. So that is visual processing disorder. And if they are not able to hear or understand the words, or remember, you are telling them again and again that it is b or it is d, but they are not able to understand, then it is language processing. Okay. They will not be able to remember. You have told that B is B, but they are not able to remember because that's language processing disorder. First, you need to know which all disorders they might have. Like if they are not very good at fine motor skills, what will be the problems? Poor handwriting, slow handwriting. Okay. And of course, they need a lot of attention. They are attention seekers. So we have to develop that empathy for these children where we understand them. Okay.
Ma'am, but yes, like what all disorders we're discussing,
Yeah.
we don't have to tell the parent, correct? Or do we? Because
See,
sometimes
the
I have
parents
experienced the
have
parent gets
different.
very like, how can you say this to my child? Or how can you say this about my child?
So don't
Because the moment
label.
they hear disorder, that means, oh,
Yeah. So don't label the child. You
yeah.
just tell the problem that your child is not able to do this. And for this, we have devised this strategy which will work for your child. So when you give the solution, then they will understand. But as teachers also, we should not label the children. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So what is dyslexia?
Learning
I'm
disability.
just now trying to share this image with you all. The trainer group. Yes, what is dyslexia?
Learning disability.
But what kind of disability? I've shared, Vesito, I have shared it in the group.
Yeah.
So dyslexia is difficulty in reading. Okay. Dyscalculia is difficulty with math. I have shared this in the group. Dyspraxia is sensory integration disorder where they have difficulty with their fine motor skills. And for that, they will have problem with hand-eye coordination, balance. Okay. Then dysphasia or aphasia, where they have difficulty with language. So language processing, which I was telling. Okay, they won't be able to understand some words, or maybe the language, or they have poor reading comprehension. Okay. Then auditory processing disorder, where they cannot hear properly. Okay, so that can be a hearing problem. So in that case, if they have difficulty in hearing the sounds, of course they will have problem with reading. Yeah, because they are not able to understand the sounds, so they will not be able to read also. And of course, it is going to impact their reading comprehension. And then there can be visual processing disorder. As I told you, this B and D. So they may have the problems with reading or math. So visual, if there's visual processing disorder, that means they cannot read. And if they cannot read properly, then it is going to affect everything. Okay. So accordingly, you will have to figure out that what strategy you are going to plan for them. Yeah. First thing is you should understand whether the child, if your child is falling in which category, first you should know that. Yeah. We'll continue with this topic because it's a little lengthy topic. Yeah. I'm just sharing one sample. What do you think about this? There's a 0 out of 5 for this child. What do you think? Spelling test. What do you think? Which kind of disability it is?
No. For auditory processing?
Yes.
Auditory processing.
Or what else it can be?
This
Dyslexia.
language, difficulty with the language.
See, the child had to
Especially
write
writing.
sight. The child had
Writing.
to write sight, but he has written sort. That means he knows the sound of letter S and T. Yes. For
Mm.
homework, he has written HWK. So he's having, for drink, D and K he knows. For think, T and K. So he's having the problem in the middle sounds.
Sounds.
Yeah. Thank, he knows T and K.
Okay.
So he's missing on
The middle sounds.
the middle sound. Yeah. So it is auditory processing disability where he's not able to process. Yes.
Yeah.
So should we give a clear 0? Is it the right evaluation to give a direct 0 for this? If you clearly observe, the problem is very simple, that he knows the consonant sounds, but he doesn't know the vowel sounds. If the child can write the beginning sound and the ending sound, that means he's clear with the consonant sounds, but he's not clear with the vowel sounds. So as a teacher, we need to, understand where is the problem. Instead of giving a direct 0, we have to do the right evaluation. Yes? Okay, I'll share one more sample. Now, see what mistakes are there? A parent can just say that my child does not know spellings. He makes so many of spelling mistakes. But as a teacher, you have to identify what is the problem. What do you think?
Alternative sounds. So he's not able to understand what he has written
Mm.
has the same sounds, but the visual, like to know that these two letters also make the same sound. So alternative
These are
sounds.
homonyms, words that sound alike but are spelled differently.
Yeah.
All these are homonyms. They have the same sounds, but they are spelled differently. Okay. So we need to understand that what is the root cause, what is the root problem. Okay, one more sample I'll share from math. What do you think? What the child knows and what the child does not know.
Carrying he doesn't know.
It's carry forward concept.
Addition he knows, but carrying he doesn't.
He understands the concept of adding and knows most of his addition facts. Okay. How do you know that he knows addition?
Because he's adding the numbers right. 5 plus 5 is 10. 4 plus 5 is 9.
9.
The
But he
addition
does
is
not
correct. The concept is
understand
clear.
how to carry
Placement.
ones to the tens column.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you are doing correction, you have to, pay special attention at the mistakes, which will give you a clue that what kind of problem the child is having. Okay. And yes, phonics helps a lot with all the children with special needs. Phonics helps a lot because there you concentrate on the consonant sounds, on the vowel sounds, on digraphs, diphthongs. So JollyPhonics work wonders for children with special needs. Okay. If you think that your child is not paying attention in reading comprehension, what can you do? What do you think you can do? To generate interest in reading. I've shared an image. How does that help? If you want the child to do reading comprehension or you want the child to write some paragraph, how would this help?
Colors related something to colors.
And you are highlighting the keywords, you are giving them hints, you're giving them keywords. Then they can sit in group, they can have brainstorming. Then you can talk about all these keywords, situation based questions you can ask. Okay. So if the child is not taking interest, you will have to give them hints, give them clues and visual clues, and then make them sit in group so that if they are not interested, but their friends are interested, they will start paying attention. Okay. So we have to cover a lot, which is, I think, is it okay if I take 10 more minutes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So let's now come to ADHD children. What do you understand by this term?
ADHD, you said? What is the term you said, ma'am?
ADHD. Attention deficit hyperactive syndrome. As the name says, these children are exciting, interesting, and creative, but they get bored very easily. So your child, the one which we're talking about, must be of this category. Okay. Now, there are some myths and there are some realities. The myth is that students with ADHD can sit still if they want to. As a teacher, I think he just don't want to. Okay. I think that he can sit. That's a myth. What is the reality? If you force the child to sit, their brain thinks about sitting still and they are not able to focus. Okay, their brain will focus more when they are roaming around. Okay, we generally have a myth that they are wasting time, but they are not wasting time. They actually need time to implement cognitive strategies that allow them to be more effective. They will only learn when they are running, yes, or they are doing any kinesthetic activity. Okay. And there are many successful entrepreneurs who were labeled as special children. You all must know. There are so many. So it is only the right strategy they need. Okay. But it's not that, they can do it. Okay. There are so many autobiographies of individuals with ADHD. Okay. Normally we think if he can play on a video game, then why he cannot study? है ना, हम ये बोलते हैं ना, फोन पे तो इतना देख लेता है, फिर वो पढ़ क्यों नहीं रहा है? Why he is not studying when he can focus on video games? But what is the reality?
Visual,
He he's enjoying the
video
visual
games are
because it's
more
happening too
Yes,
fast.
they will focus when there is a physical action or high interaction, or even if you give an immediate feedback, they need immediate feedback. If they are doing something good and you clap for them, then they get that motivation. Okay, they need visual stimulation. What is happening in video game? What is
so many
happening?
visuals are
The
coming.
minute
Immediate.
they win, they get a star or
Yes.
something.
Yes. Okay. Visual stimulation is there. Sound effects are there. Okay. So what would be the possible strategy to deal with such children? Using more audio visuals. Hosseina, that child which you were talking about, have you
Hmm.
ever tried giving your phone and using Jolly app? I give
He's
the phone.
he's a special child, so he's not allowed to use screen. Like he has only 10 minutes screen time.
That's a
So if he has
myth.
used that 10 minutes screen time in school, he cannot use anything with me.
That's a myth. That's not the reality. He needs more audiovisual.
Because his mother is a doctor. So, I have got very specific instructions from the mother.
But
I can
he will only learn from audiovisual. I give my phone and I just put that game, JollyPhonics app में जो
JollyPhonics,
game है, I give that. उसमें
they enjoy
immediate
a lot.
response मिलता है, immediate rewards मिलते हैं, and they learn.
that rhyme video action which we have. So in the very beginning, when I was teaching him sound, I took the permission from the mother because I really needed. I knew this is the
So
best thing.
you tell her that I'll not play rhymes now. I'll allow him to play game for 5 minutes on my mobile, and this is the game.
I've tried.
And
Not
that
allowed.
5 minutes will give you result of 2 hours.
I'll try again. I'll talk to the mother.
Yes, you need to make
Maybe
her
she can adjust some
understand.
screen time here and there and give that to me.
Yeah. I'll share one screenshot. You can just show if you want to her, because she will understand if you explain her in a logical way. I've shared it in the group. Maybe that helps.
Sana, I just want to share one experience.
Yeah.
I have this mother in my school who is also a doctor. Her older brother is in my class, he's 6 years old, but she has another son who is 3 years old. So she goes to work and she leave the boy with the maid. So he was growing up from baby until when he was 3 years old, sitting in front of the TV morning until evening when the mother comes back. But now the mother is a doctor. Now she knows that the son has speech problems, some disabilities. She's sending him. I'm sure the mother that you mentioned, how old is the boy, by the way?
He's actually 9 years, but if you look at him, he is more like the brain is more like a 5 year.
And it's not I'm talking bad about the mother. I'm very sure the mother's been giving him handphone at home, and that's why now she come to realize that she really need to cut off the screen time. That's how I can think. I'm very sure at home the son is allowed to use handphone or screen time.
So she has 4 kids, and this is the last one, which I'm taking. So the rest three
Ah.
are allowed to take screen and as and when they want, and everything is allowed to them. But the
So
fourth one,
maybe
special one,
yes,
so
you
The
can
thing
ask
is
the
that
mother what does he
he is
do.
the only one who needs audiovisual.
You can ask the mother what
I'll
does he
talk.
do in his free time at home. You should ask.
Hmm.
I'll talk again. Because this action rhyme thing, when I used to do it, helped a lot. He learnt very fast the sounds and everything.
Hmm.
But then thereafter, she told me, no, now not allowed. I'm like, okay.
I have shared some pictures which you all can also read the strategies which will work for ADHD children. Okay. Any questions?